Hey y'all, welcome back. We are here, Eagle Talk. Got my bride and my son here. What's your name, son?
Yo, bride, just say what she is.
Listen, no, we done been in church learning some things.
Yeah.
I am forever his bride.
Yes, she is.
Look, hater.
I wish I could have showed y'all the bloopers. All right, y'all, we back. We got our young king in the building with us. Say hi to the people.
What's up?
This is Eagle Talk.
I just said what's up. What's is?
Okay. So yay, welcome to Eagle Talk, son.
Okay.
Okay, you gotta give us a little something.
I'm answering the
You
question.
gotta give us a whole sentence.
No.
Every answer has to be a whole sentence. Eagle Talk. Get your mojo back. Take 4.
All right, y'all, welcome to Eagle Talk. We are in the building of the comfort of our own home. We have my son here and we have my beautiful
I
wife.
don't know if we gotta say comfort of our own home.
Welcome to Eagle Talk. We are back. We have my son and my wife here
Hey.
in an undisclosed location. So just letting y'all know, we are here to talk about getting our mojo back.
Yes, y'all. It's your girl, Rosemary Lewis, and my baby.
C. Lewis here. And what's your name, son?
Corey Lewis also.
All right, thank you.
Act like we at home talking about the football game or the basketball game or something like that, okay? All right. Eagle Talk. Getting your mojo back. Take 7.
Today, we are talking about getting our mojo back.
Yes, and we're so happy to have you here with us. Are you happy to be with Mom and Daddy?
Yep.
Okay, if you wanted to know, he is the most sarcastic one out of the bunch.
Yes, he is.
But it's always fun. We always, we pull out a little parent weight and bring him in on Eagle Talk activities. So for those people who don't know you, Corey, just give them a little bit of background about who you are, what you do, and what this life is like living with us.
So my name is Corey. I'm 21 years old, and I'm in the real estate business with my dad also. I'm a wholesaler, so I'm on the disposition side. So whenever we get properties, my job is to reach out to buyers and investors and try to get the property sold. And I've been doing that for about 2 to 3 years now.
You're also not just a wholesaler, you're an investor. You have some property that you get monthly rents from, so don't box yourself in. But yes, you do, and you do a wonderful job.
Thanks.
And there's been some ups and downs with that, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into it. But y'all, I have to tell you a story. I'm thinking about, like you blink and these kids grow up. So obviously, I'm so young to have a 21-year-old. I understand that. Oh, was that a little hate?
No.
Was that a little shade?
I'm thinking I was young too.
But honestly, do your friends think your mama young, or am I the age of?
Young.
Yeah. So it's interesting because.
What about me?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what's interesting though is that we have you and your brother. So on one end of the spectrum, we're the super. We were the super young parents, and now we are not.
Right.
I think we're average age for our demographic. But honestly, for most of our friends, their kids are way younger than even our younger kid. But okay, so y'all, so when Corey was 2 years old, he was turning 3 in May, and this was January, and like my mom was determined that we were gonna potty train this baby. And she was like, well, he wasn't a baby. I mean, you was kind of two boys get potty trained 2 or 3. So we went on this cruise, y'all, and I was like, okay. It was me, my mom, and my best friend, Mishla. She was on a podcast before. Make sure you check it out. We talked about lasting friendships. We did like a mama. We took our mothers, and then I had the baby, so my baby went with me. So do you remember this trip? Do you remember going?
No.
Have you seen, do you know you almost ran out? This is not the story I'm telling, but do you know, like we were in St. Thomas and like you almost ran in the expressway? It was so crazy. But anywho, so we're determined that we are going to potty train him on this trip. And the whole trip, like he just would not, like, we're trying to get him to get with it. Took a pull up off of him, just going back and forth. And at one point, like, you were a very good, quiet child and you pooped on yourself. And I was so frustrated. You may or may not have gotten disciplined. because of that. And I remember my mom was mad at me, like, he's just a baby, you shouldn't have disciplined him. But fast forward to, we were at the airport on the way home from the trip, and we're all sitting at the airport. I took you to the bathroom, you didn't do anything. And then we're sitting down just waiting for our flight, and you just took off running, like look up, and it's like, where is he going? You didn't say anything to me. You just sprinting, y'all. I was like, Corey, come back. What are you doing? Corey Trayvon. Like, I'm running after him because he's in a crowd, and we're in Fort Lauderdale Airport. Homeboy turned around to me and he said, I got to boo-boo.
He's going to Duque on his own.
So he was sprinting, y'all, to the bathroom. And from that day, I'm happy to say you have remained potty trained ever since.
That's a huge accomplishment, son. That is... He wasn't happy to hear that story.
That's a huge accomplishment. You don't remember that at all?
No.
No. And now you are 21.
Yep.
But today we are going to talk about getting your mojo back. As Corey, the Coreys, sometimes I refer to them as, mentioned, we are all in real estate. They are heavy on the investment side. I'm heavy on the residential side. And just in general, in sales, in business, and entrepreneurship, and in life, it just kind of feels like you lose your sauce.
Yeah.
Things happen, and, from the outside looking in, a lot of times everyone doesn't portray or share their L's, and it looks like everybody is winning all the time, but we're here to share with you, like, no, we're not all winning all the time. And sometimes you lose your mojo and you got to get it back.
I think with anything in life and business, we all have our ups and downs. I remember when your mother was transitioning, you kind of looked at me and said, look, I need to take off.
Yeah.
I need a month or two. And I was totally fine with it. Take your time and come back when you were ready.
Actually, I said I need 6 months.
You did
That's what
say,
I said at the time.
Well, however long the span was, I was going to do what we need to do. And I respected that. So, even coming from, for all three of us, coming from that situation, getting back in the groove of working it's been a journey.
It's been a journey. Yeah. So how has that looked for you in your young entrepreneur journey? Have there been things that just made you just kind of feel off kilter and getting it back? What have you done, Corey?
I mean, I do like the same routine, but it gets harder when like you get flashbacks and stuff. That's like the biggest kind of difficult situations I've been dealing with ever since. Just trying to get back into what I was working on beforehand.
So what does that look like? Because you made a good, so you're meaning like flashbacks of grandma, and then you get a little emotional, and I totally understand that. So what I am noticing is that in getting my mojo back, and that is one of a few things. It's just sometimes you go on vacation and it take a while to get back in the groove. Yeah. And I think that sometimes we think that automatically it's going to be like a shift, like you're going to feel like doing it. And in business, you have to, I think that's the magic, right? Is doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like doing it. So what has that looked like you? Like you say, you have a routine, but when you feel yourself not feeling like doing the routine, what have you had to make any adjustments or changes to help you get to the end goal?
Yeah, kind of like starting off when I wake up, like sleep was like a really big thing. Like I would struggle with, and kind of like having like harder days to get out of bed, and like the way you start your morning is really like how you gonna finish out the rest of the day for me.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting there listening to you, and I know how your morning routine is. I really want to do this episode because I want young adults to see a successful young adult and kind of know what you do. So when you talk about your morning routine after you get out of bed, what clicks for you that's just next?
So with our business, we just have some properties that we're either working on or we're looking to acquire. So it's either I'm running numbers, doing comps, or I'm pushing out properties in my buyers list throughout the day. So that could be banner signs throughout the week, or calling agents, posting on social media, trying to get buyers, calling a lot of people just trying to get the property sold for me.
Now let's kind of talk big picture here. As you know, I'm very intentional on trying to reach and set goals all of the time. How was that for you, and how do you structure that?
How is it like right now?
Yeah, like your goals, like for the year. Like how do you do it?
It's going okay. Just kind of just been slow in trying to get into that spot with everything that's been going on. I'm on track with it, but like I'm not at the place where I want to be just because of everything that's been going on.
Is this something that you monitor daily or weekly? How does it stay fresh on your mind on things that you're trying to accomplish?
Kind of like a weekly thing. I kind of like tap into it. I have like a vision board in my room, so I look at that every day. But my actual goals for the year, I kind of look at it kind of weekly. But I want to stick to like moving towards daily goals, weekly goals, and so on.
How do you monitor it? As you know, your mother bought me a quarterly planner. So I monitor mine daily and weekly, of course, quarterly and yearly, but I'm real big on quarters, on hitting numbers quarters. So how do you structure you hitting the goals that you're reaching for?
I'm not really like a planner person, like writing things down daily. I like putting like reminders in my phone or like some spreadsheets in my phone so that I can keep a track of like what I have going on. So kind of like as each deal closes or like whatever pops up, I like to insert it and keep track of everything I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, and knowing your numbers. One thing that I'm just thinking about with anything, like you all are speaking in terms of business, and one piece that y'all didn't say, but I see it modeled, is the accountability piece, right? So whether you like it or not, you and your dad are working together, and then I know that you have other people that are in the business, Nick and other folks that you're checking in with, and these folks are holding you accountable. So I definitely it's so much power, y'all, in community, in anything, because your community, they can see holes, they can stand in the gap for you, they can encourage you to get back going, and then they can hold you accountable to what the things are that you said that you're going to do, and help you build your capacity back up. So for instance, I just think about in my just journey, and business is one part of it, so I'll share that. But I have a team, and with our team at the beginning of March, we looked at our yearly goal, and it's like, okay, so we need to,
get on it,
have a little come to Jesus talk,
right?
Because myself, it's just crazy, y'all. My mom passed away in December. One of my team members, her father passed away literally February 1st. So it just is one of those things where we were getting traction. Then we had snowstorm. It was just all these different things where we felt like we were getting traction. But then these real life, not just, ooh, I hit my toe, but these real life events that kind of shut us down for a little bit. Yeah. But what I will say is that when we had our come to Jesus talk with each other, being accountable to each other, it was from a place of love. It was from a place of empathy, but it was also from a place of what, though, is big picture, right? And what we came up with, for right now, for us to get, as we're getting our mojo back as a team, as I'm getting my mojo back as a team leader, as a business person, even in my house, I'm like, okay, what do I have to do today? Right? So looking to say, okay, I need to spend this amount of time every day, and being realistic, giving myself space to grieve, space to just be, space to, not pile everything on where I just shut completely down. But if I only have 1 hour or 2 hours to get 3 things done on this day, what do I need to hammer down and do? And y'all hold me accountable to this time, and then also hold me accountable to taking the personal time that I need. So for me, the accountability piece has been just transformative in all areas of life, especially in this getting your mojo back. Because here's another thing, and I just realized this when I went to Chicago this last time to visit my dad. You can think you get your mojo back, and then your wig gets snatched right back off, and your mojo gone again.
Right.
So having those systems and those things in place that you're like, okay, how can I function as my best self? What do I need to do to show up for myself, and who am I checking in with to support me along that journey?
Yeah, no, I think that's really good information. And for me, as far as getting your mojo back, I think it's just staying consistent. Mm-hmm. I'm always seeking. I've learned 2 things: to continue to seek information daily, and watch the people that are winning in a big way, right? Not just Oprah or Michael Jordan, somebody that's in your field, whatever field you're trying to conquer, and win that, to study them on a constant basis, and then that'll kind of show you what they're doing, and it shows you what to do, and then you realize that you can do it too. I was just thinking last night, I was watching Max and Grant, and they were talking numbers and doing deals, and I was thinking, I was like, wow, I used to think $5 million is a lot of money. Not that it's not a lot of money, but the way I look at it, it's not a lot of money for where my dreams and my goals are aligned, where I'm trying to go. So just looking at different things like that on how they were doing deals and talking numbers, I just realized that I'm thinking that way too, because I studied them.
You're shifting your mindset. Yeah. So speaking of a mindset shift, little Corey, look,
you can't call him little Corey.
Well, why?
Okay, call him little Corey.
Can I still call you little Corey?
Uh-huh.
Okay, listen, kiss me. I can still call you little Corey. Can you call me mommy?
No.
Okay, I tried to push it. All right, y'all, we have to interrupt this episode real quick for a special announcement.
Do us a favor, go like, share,
subscribe.
Because you want to know every time we drop Eagle Talk, and share it with one of your homies. All right, now back to the conversation. But speaking of a mindset shift, I mean, aside from my mom, you just went through some other personal stuff this year. And I think that you had to have a shift like, you know what, I got to bet on me. Right, I gotta invest in me. I gotta open myself up to new opportunities. And like you recently traveled to New Orleans. You got your boys coming in town soon. So just what has that looked like? Like just becoming an adult and doing adulting type things and just figuring out who you are, what you like, even when stuff don't go your way. Keep going, because it's a lot of people that, certain things will shut them all the way down. So what does that look like for you in your mind as you're just developing and figuring out who you are in this stage?
It took a quite bit when everything first happened, like towards the end of the summer. But I have like a really good set of friends who like I'm cool with, and it took me a minute to get out the house. But when I did get out the house, I just kind of vented to them.
Out the house.
Yeah, a lot.
But I kind of just vented about my situation, and like my friends were there for me. And then the more I went out, like the more I kind of experienced things being 21 that I like to do, what I don't like to do. And then from someone, it just carries on to this day.
I think the biggest thing, and granted, he's grown, so we don't tell him what to do. But I think the biggest thing for me that I preach to you is to be a leader, right? Who you with, where you going, drinking and driving, all of that kind of stuff. You have to lead, because it's easy to follow. It's easy to get caught up in the moment. And then another thing, too, that I try to do in our family group is to share different leadership qualities, different motivational and leadership videos. So that's the big thing that I constantly preach to you, and you're getting it.
Yeah, no. So, Corey, here's the thing for you, little Corey, because we're talking about getting your mojo back. And quite honestly, I think that we're making it sound so easy, right?
It's not.
And because I know that there are a lot of people on the other side of, listening to this podcast or watching us on YouTube who just feel like I just cannot get right. And especially young people, we live in a world where it's just so easy to compare yourself to others. Mm-hmm. And it seems like everybody winning. Everybody is doing better than you. And I even know that for you, like you have friends that are college students looking at your situation like it's so cush, or you may be looking at their situation like it's so cush. What would you say to that person in your age group that just feels like I can't do anything right? Like that, you get to that point when you're 21, you feel like your life over, you ain't accomplished nothing. So what do you say to them? Like what type of advice would you give them?
Just try not to compare yourself. I know it's kind of hard, especially with social media, like when you see other people winning, but try not to compare yourself, and then whatever you want to do, just try to connect with people in that field, and then just open that up to more opportunities down the line.
Yeah, and then just do it, right? Mm-hmm. Like everybody, Corey, husband Corey. Look, I have to distinguish y'all. Husband Corey, son Corey, big Corey, little Corey. Husband Corey always says, if we all throw our problems in one pile, you'll pull your problem right back out, right? Because I know how to navigate being mom, wife, realtor, but I don't know what it looks like to be a 21-year-old black man, right? I don't know what it looks like to be tasked with the things that you are tasked with, Big Corey. And that's something that I think that we all don't think about, that everybody, like Jay-Z, she done Beyonce, everybody got issues. But it's just what we can do. There's another quote I'm thinking about. Somebody took your same circumstances and won with it. And again, not to compare yourself, but to know that with some shifts, some mindset changes, some different habits, we can get a different result.
Yeah, I think, and that's really good information, but I think still going back to the younger generation and getting your mojo back, it's not hard and it's not easy, but I think if you continuously think about your future, then your mojo will, it'll come back, because you're thinking about, man, what I need to do, not just kind of like soaking. And I kind of look at it as in just daily working on yourself or myself. So, I'm always thinking about future, always thinking about legacy. And that's another thing why, and depression is real. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Depression is real.
Yeah, and you have to go through that.
You have to go through it and seek help, because sometimes I agree with that. Sometimes you are faced with a situation where, you do need a different level of support in order to get through it.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I would look at it. Almost the whole TK, when you get better, it gets better type situation. So, just continue to work on yourself, but also think about your future.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about, as you were talking, honey, I was thinking about a question that we asked at Eagle Talk, but I'm going to ask it to little Corey in a different way. Sitting where you sit now at 21 years old, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
I would say attack it early.
What is it?
Well, in my situation, like jumping into the business earlier, I was really like content with like working like a 9-to-5 retail job. And I think I was just having fun and like being with friends. That's what I wanted to do. But if I would have jumped in a little bit earlier, then I would be much further in my business to where I am now.
I like that. First of all, I like that you said attack.
Attack.
Second of all, I like the fact that you understand that if you would have started 3 years early, you would be a lot more further along than you are today, right? Which totally makes sense. But I also like that we have future conversations, almost like you building your own house, or how you said you manifested your BMW and all of that type of stuff in the one last year. So I really like that you said attack it earlier, because you can get the things out the way and really start, doing what you want to do.
What you want to do, yeah. I think that it was Steve Harvey that said, just about that. And that's one thing that I am grateful for you, Corey, because you're definitely living your best life, right? But
times 10.
Yeah, you living your best life. But I do think that you definitely have a level of maturity, an example that we didn't. I'm not even gonna say we didn't have it, but we was just on something else, right? When we were in our 20s, and Steve Harvey basically said, "Look, if you focus in your 20s." You secure that thing in your 30s, then you can party with friends for the rest of your life, right? That's my goal.
On the yacht in Belize.
Exactly. So just kind of putting your head down and working, not just working on business, working on yourself, right? Yeah. Working on developing habits that you don't have to work on 40, developing bad habits. So I definitely think, as we're talking about getting your mojo back, especially for your age group, is like, what are some things that you can set in motion right now that will serve you for the rest of your life? And you are just at an opportune time to do that.
Man, what a time to be alive.
Because me and your daddy, we trying to unlearn some stuff right now, and we 40.
So no, that's great information. I'm glad you agreed to come on out the house and sit here with us for a little while and just continue to feed the people, man. They need to hear and see young adults, black or white, right, out here doing right, making money, living, I guess, their dreams, fulfilling their dreams, and
healthy families, not people that get it right. Like, 'cause do we get it right all the time?
No.
Nah, but we still in it. Yeah. We still in it together.
Yeah. So all right, y'all. That was Eagle Talk for tonight, and we'll see y'all on the next episode. Tell the people peace out.
Yes, next episode, y'all. We are excited because we are going to ask the question, are you playing small?
Boom.
So make sure that you check in for it. All right? Peace out.
Peace, y'all.